Book 1 for August 2020. The Negro President, Jefferson and the Slave Powers, Gary Wills. And I just wanted to deal with the black vote. In these crucial times, we're still dealing with the black vote. Is it used? Is it misused? What does it mean? How powerful is it? 1800, the Negro Burr election. In 1800, other things being equal, the outcome was determined by two factors: the 12 votes given Jefferson by the slave count, and Aaron Burr's brilliant campaign effort in New York, which added 12 more votes. Without either one, the Republicans would have lost. The Negro factor and the Burr factor would be fused in the mind of Timothy Pickering, who briefly hoped that Burr, because of his experience in 1800, would lead a northern secession from the slave power. Burr's contribution to the Republican cause in 1800 is often overlooked, since people can concentrate rather on his actions during the election in the House, made necessary because of the electoral vote tie between Jefferson and him. But the Republicans would never have reached that stage in the election but for what Burr did in New York. Jefferson, like some of his allies, was not comfortable with Burr as a Republican running mate for a second time in 1800. Burr was what Jefferson despised: a mobile and urban operator. Despite his old family ties with New England theocracy, he was a professional politician before that had become a profession. As the grandson of the nation's great theologian orator Jonathan Edwards and the son of the theologian president of the College of New Jersey, Princeton, Burr should have been a religious conservative distrustful of worldly scheming. He belonged with his cousin Timothy Dwight, who became the president of Yale, or his tutor and brother-in-law Tapping Reeve, the most famous law professor of his time. But Burr rarely stayed where he belonged. After attending Princeton, the family domain, he became an officer during the Revolutionary War, brave and headlong, restive under Washington's authority, but able himself to discipline those who, like him, disliked discipline. In all these aspects, he resembled another prickly young officer who maneuvered out from under General Washington's strict gaze, Alexander Hamilton. These two men, the outsized ambitions belying their slight stature, became each the other's evil twin. Both romantics, both adventurers, they frightened outsiders and each other with the sweep of their ambition. Each was a leader. Hamilton, narrow-eyed, aimed, bowling over opposition, or trying to. The first over the ramparts at the capture of Yorktown, Burr with liquid, accepting eyes, drawing people in rather than shoving them aside. The rescuer of stranded troops, including Hamilton's at Brooklyn Heights. Hamilton was all edge, Burr a thing of curves and sidles. Jefferson would seek in Burr an anti-Hamilton, hoping he was the more detested man's antidote, only to find the cure as bad as the disease. In 1791, Jefferson and Madison made an unprecedented tour northward off their native turf, purportedly to botanize among odd flora, but in fact to sound out men who could make their nascent Republican Party more than a regional force. New York seemed the only place north of Pennsylvania that was open to their inroads. George Clinton had organized a proto-Republican machine to oppose aristocratic families descended from colonial New York's Dutch patron, or patroons. Those aloof Dutch types still had their representatives in families like the Van Rensselaers and the Schulers, and Alexander Hamilton had married into the latter family. Clinton was using Aaron Burr Hamilton's rival as a Revolutionary War hero and rising young lawyer to counter the ambitions of Hamilton. And here you're starting to learn about the counts and the players involved um, with maneuvering to become president and working their way up the ladder. Careerists is what we would call them today. And still, at the core of it all, is the black body. Oops, I keep covering. Let me hold it right there. There we go. Until next time, please, I thank you for your support, and keep take care of your mind. I'm sorry. Take care of your body, and please be safe.